This problem looks like it's probably going to be a difference of cubes because I see that it's x cubed and then minus a number. But the problem right now is that 375 and 24 are not perfect cubes. So the first thing we should always be checking for in every problem is a greatest common factor. And these two numbers happen to have a greatest common factor of 3. So the first thing I'm going to do is rewrite this by taking out the 3. If I divide 375 by 3, I get 125. And if I divide 24 by 3, I get 8. And now 125 and 8 are both perfect cubes. So this problem looks like it's going to be a difference of cubes because I can see that it's x cubed in the first term and it's two terms. But the problem is that 375 and 24 are not perfect cubes. So the first thing we want to check for, which we should be checking for in every problem, is whether this has a greatest common factor. And it turns out that 375 and 24 are both divisible by 3. So if I take out a 3, I would be left with 125 x cubed minus 8. And both 125 and 8 are perfect cubes. So now I can figure out my, my a and b values. I'm going to write down, because we're doing a difference of cubes, I'm writing down the formula. So I'm going to figure out my a and my b. So a would be the cube root of 125, which is 5. And b is the cube root of 8, which is 2. Oh, and I forgot when I did my a that it's actually 5x, not just 5. Okay, so now everywhere I see an a, I'm plugging in a 5x. Everywhere I see a b, I'm plugging in a 2. And then the only other thing I need to remember is that my final answer should have that 3 in front of it that we took out at the beginning. So I'm going to write out my parentheses with all my signs. And now all I have to do is plug everything in. So I have 5x minus 2. In the first position right here, that's going to be 5x squared. So remember, you have to square the 5 and the x. So it's going to be 25x squared. In the middle term, I'm going to be multiplying 5x and 2, and that's 10x. And then in the last spot is going to be 2 squared, which is 4.